the world's greatest radio.
We give you a reason to stay.
Radio, the way it should be heard.
You got the power.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and not necessarily those of TalkTainmentRadio.com, the management, the staff, or K&E World Network, LLC.
Welcome to New Money, where imagination meets creativity and technology, with your hosts, Lady J and Drew, where we're all about social media and making money online.
Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Heard only on TalkTainmentRadio.com.
Radio, the way it should be heard.
All right, let's make some money.
Yeah, New Money, courtesy of TalkTainmentRadio.com. I'm your boy, Casanova Red, the player, bringing you in because I got a promotion and Lady J got a demotion. So I have the parking spot and Lady J has to park across the street. Welcome to my show. Finally.
Your show.
Finally, I'm taking over.
Wait. I walk in and I see you on the mic trying to take my spot. Are you serious? Really?
Your spot has been taken. They took your name, Lady J, and they scratched it out.
No.
And then they took my name and they put a piece of yellow, you know, that yellow tape that really sticks that we used to do in school.
The masking tape.
Correct. And they put a black marker and they put my name on it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the world is finally right. And your new host and Lady J's my co-host. Welcome to the New Money Show, brought to you by TalkTainmentRadio.com.
Let me go.
Hosted by yours truly, Casanova Red, the player.
Can we go? And we wind it back. I'm gonna tell you why. Because in the theme song, you even said yourself, hosted by Lady J and Drew. So you are second. You will always be second because I am the later. Just like in the royal wedding, I'm the later.
Wow. Speaking of the royal wedding, I thought you were supposed to go over there with Kanye. You were supposed to be sitting with Kanye and Kim.
I'm going, but I'm not sitting with Kanye and Kim.
Why you were not sitting with Kanye and Kim?
Because I don't want to hear Kanye talk about slavery. Okay.
Wait, well, first off, what's wrong with Kanye talking about slavery?
Because he's got slavery backwards in his head.
He got slavery backwards in his head. So you don't think a wedding is a good time to talk about slavery?
No. Absolutely not.
Hey, look, the British are one of the main contributors to why we were enslaved. Why not talk about it at the wedding?
Okay, we can do that at the reception.
Maybe. I mean, look, listen. The prince and princess, maybe future queen, they have enough money to pay us the reparations that they finally owe us. Look, America owe us reparations, and so does Great Britain. So I think Kanye needs to meet with them. Kind of like, if anyone objects, yeah, I object. And I'm not leaving until black folks get reparations. Okay. So I hope, Kanye, you do go, and you know, like what you did with Taylor Swift, as soon as they about to say any objections, I want you to rush the stage. I object. This wedding should not go on until all black people in Great Britain and America are treated equally and given reparations, just like Jewish people got and just like Indians. I want some casinos. Okay, you know why I can't get my own casino? Or why can't I at least get my own casino girl? We went through 400 years of slavery. Talk to me. Okay. Kanye, interrupt the royal wedding.
They would take it from Kanye if Kanye had made the comment he made a little while ago. Then they might listen to him about the slavery whole situation. But Kanye said it all backwards, so he can't talk right now. So he needs an interpreter. He needs somebody to advocate for him. He's saying it himself might get him in some more trouble, okay?
All right, first of all, I'm going to talk about what the show is about, but I want to go back to the Kanye thing. But let me let you know why you guys have tuned in. Obviously, this is New Money. One of the things that is imperative to talk about on this show is social media. It's intertwined into online marketing and making money. And today we're going to talk about Thank God for Social Media is the title of the show when you look in the show notes on our YouTube channel. Okay? And what we're going to be discussing is thank God for social media, because social media has made us aware of things that we may not have known about, things that we heard that we thought were myths that are actually going on, like the Starbucks arrest, the Yale arrest. There are times these things went on and there was no social media to bring it to our attention. So that's what the show's going to be about, how social media is uncovering and unraveling a lot of the evils that actually go on. But back to Kanye West real quick. Lady J, what is it that Kanye said that you disagree with about slavery?
Kanye said, if I'm understanding his rambling, that in a lot of ways, which I understand his point, but he just should explain it differently. In some ways, we are still in a slavery mentality in how we are even today.
And he said that slavery's a choice. That's the main thing.
That's the main thing that stuck out.
That people are upset about. And I'm going to be honest with you, Lady J, I agree with him. Slavery was a choice.
Slavery was a choice.
Slavery was a choice. People didn't get mad when Martin Luther King said slavery was a choice. And you're lucky I don't have that clip to play it. People didn't get mad when Dr. Claude Anderson, the author of Powernomics, said slavery was a choice. Okay, let me explain why they're saying slavery was a choice. They tried to enslave the Indians. What did the Indians do? They overthrew their so-called masters. They either killed them or ran away or died trying.
Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks.
Listen to this clip.
Prison is something that unites us as one race, blacks and whites being one race. That we're one. We're the human race. We're human beings and stuff. And then eventually, you know.
Can I go back to something you just said? Because I don't want to let it pass. You said that slavery was around for 400 years. At a point, it becomes a choice.
I agree.
Yeah, right now we're choosing to be enslaved. We're like, okay, so Ebro, I FaceTime on, and I'm there with Candace, right? And Ebro starts bringing up his version of facts, right? And Candace has facts. She's researched, right? Candace Owens has facts. She's researched, and then Candace just pulls out her Jedi lightsaber and just, you know, chops Ebro's head off with facts. Then Ebro FaceTimes me the next day, and he's talking about the scoop and poop. He wants to talk about music now. I said, yo, you gonna have Candace on your show? He's like, nah, I'm not. She's mean. So you're gonna stifle her voice, Ebro. You're choosing to enslave people's minds. You're choosing to not let the truth be free.
Can I give you my translation of what happened last week and tell me if it's right?
Okay.
The way I see it, you don't necessarily embrace the views of Donald Trump as much as you want to show people that they shouldn't be intimidated from showing their true feelings, expressing themselves freely, and that the hat is a lightning rod for this kind of free thought that is lost in our society because people get bullied and shouted down and they're intimidated to the point where they have to shut up. Is that fair?
It's the mob. The mob tries to tell you what to think. The mob tries to make all blacks be Democrats for you know, food stamps and stuff.
That's true.
It's the mob. Like, and by the way, you're just talking to the emotion. You know, when you get Candace, ask her, she's gonna drop you the facts.
We're gonna have Candace on in a bit.
The kid,
preach, Kanye, preach.
That stood in Tiananmen Square.
Now,
see,
go ahead, Lady J, take over.
Here's the thing. When he says it in that format, he's heard. It's one thing. It wasn't just so much his choice of words, but his delivery. If he would have said it like that in a calm fashion, you know, even with the whole Taylor Swift thing, it's a lot of times it's about your delivery, and his delivery was a little off. Now he has a point. He has a point in a lot of ways, but I couldn't hear that because he was yelling it. He was being bombastic about it.
Yeah, I think that Kanye, a lot of times he has emotion and his thoughts doesn't escape his mouth the way that they should, just like our President Donald Trump. A lot of his thoughts don't escape his mouth the way that they should. Both of them could practice better at their delivery. But I want to get back to this because I don't want people taking a clip of this video and me saying that slavery was a choice without me explaining myself. So let me explain this properly, okay? I want to use the projects and trailer parks. if you are born to parents of people that live in the projects or trailer parks, that is not your choice. You get grown and you're 50 and you're still living in the projects, poverty is your choice.
I agree
You
with
get
that.
grown and you still on the welfare system, poverty is your choice. It's okay to be born to a welfare mother, a welfare father. It's okay to be born to a trailer park mother, trailer park father. It's okay to be born in poverty. But when you are 50 years old and you're still collecting the check that your mother was collecting, and you didn't educate yourself, you made a choice. So now let's go back to slavery. When does slavery become a choice? There are people, when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and the news was delivered to them that they were free, they refused to leave the plantation. I give Nat Turner props. Now, yes, we want to vilify him in the history books, but he chose not to be a slave. Now, I don't agree with the mass murder part of it, but he chose to fight and he died trying.
Correct.
Harriet Tubman made the statement that I could have freed more people if only they knew. If only they knew that they could be free. And that's one of the worst, that's one of the truest things. There are so many people who, their mentality, they choose not to read books. They choose not to get a better education. They choose not to talk to people that don't know better than them. And I'm sorry, but there are people who chose slavery. You know, when you're a 12-year-old kid and you watch your mother and father get beat, or you watch your father get lynched, that's not a choice. But as you get older and your master gets older, who fed the master? The slaves.
Correct.
Do you realize you could have poisoned your master? You didn't have to have a gun and overthrown him. The master sleeps a lot of times with the slave woman while he's sleeping. Okay, most of these slaves are physically stronger than their masters. These guys go to sleep. Why didn't you murder them in their sleep? I'm not saying that there should always be murder. And I understand that you can beat and intimidate someone to a point that they are living in fear, that they are scared. They've seen their relatives die. But at what point in 400 years was slavery a choice? That's what he's trying to say.
Well, like I said,
the Indians could have been slaves. Why weren't they?
That's true. Well, like I said, again, my whole issue is his delivery. Now that I've seen this clip here where he's explaining it, where he's, in that, then I can digest it differently. But when you just rant and rave, it's hard to hear what you're trying to say because you're screaming, hollering, and yelling.
Yeah.
And there needs to be more sit-down discussions where there's, like you said, now the free thought thing I definitely agree with. Now, but still, even with DT, I still feel like if this is how we feel, that's great, but there's better ways to explain that. That's the point of education. There's lots of other words to use in the English language that a lot of us don't use. It's just like I'll use an example. On times when people cuss all the time, find some other word. There's tons of words in the dictionary you can use other than saying cuss words.
I agree. When you curse, a lot of people don't take you seriously. There's some intelligent thoughts. Like there's a rapper, Immortal Technique. I think lyrically, oh my God, he is one of the nicest ever. He's not a radio rapper. He's what you call an underground rapper. You hear Immortal Technique's lyrics, he's deep. Vinnie Paz is deep, from Jedi Mind Tricks. But let me go back really quick to Immortal Technique. When he does interviews, every other word, mother F this, bitch this, nigga this, blah, 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 blah. He curses so much. I mean that Red Fox and Andrew Dice Clay would say, dude, you curse too much.
I wouldn't listen
And
to
this
him.
is a very intelligent man who you will not take seriously.
Correct.
Because he curses. There's a guy, Tommy Sotomayor. I watch him on YouTube. One thing that I'm happy that Tommy's doing now, he curses less. He used to curse a whole lot. This man has a different take, but his opinions are deep. He uses facts and logic to form his opinion. He argues with facts. But especially when you're black and you say something that goes against status quo, if you are delivering it with profanity and slang, you make it easy for them to disregard what you have to say.
Correct.
And that's what you're saying about Kanye.
Correct.
That he's not delivering it in a way that shows how intellectual he is.
And that's the problem that many of us as African Americans have, which is why I feel in some arenas black people aren't taken seriously. Because you're not using the education which you were given, or you're not going and seeking out the education so that you can be taken seriously. You know, they think so many of us are thugs or uneducated because that's how we talk. If we don't take the time to learn vocabulary, whether it be at home, be at church, or be on your own time, then you know, I think more white people and other races will think of us better if we conduct our business with dignity, and if we keep our business clean and we treat people with respect. I think we will get further than to talk a yo man, what man, man. I can't understand that, and not because I have a hearing impairment. I can't understand yo man, what do you mean, man? How about yes sir, no sir, thank you very much for shopping at my store, sir? How about that?
Let's not forget, and we're going to go into the topic of our show, which is very related to what we're talking about.
Get the same thing on social media.
Let's not forget, part of what you said, everything you said was correct, but that's only part of the problem. The media, the movies, they portray black people in the light of he's a thug.
Correct.
Okay. I'll give an example. In corporate America, if I speak up in meetings, not in my current position, but I've worked at companies, especially when I lived in North Carolina. Black man speaks up, we're considered angry, even if there's no, hey, I want to talk to you. I'm not talking that way. My delivery is, hey, I don't agree with this policy. Let me tell you why. I was considered a troublemaker and angry. Now we can have a white guy in the meeting, and he could even be angry, and he's considered ambitious. There are stereotypes that have been force-fed to your eye sockets and your ears and been passed around in myth, so much so that a white person saw a Yale student and called the police.
Because she was asleep in the lounge. Oh, she's black. She can't possibly be here. She can't possibly be allowed here. What is she doing in our lounge sleeping?
That a white person called 911 on two Starbucks customers who were just sitting and waiting
for
to
a real estate agent.
with someone.
A real estate agent.
And so not only did that happen, that she called, 911 should have said, hang up and called a non-emergency number, or the dispatcher should have said, hey, are they threatening you? No. Do they have weapons? No. So why are you calling 911?
This is not.
So that didn't even eliminate it.
Correct.
So they fed into the stereotype. And then on top of it, and she even said black on the message. She said 2 black guys are here. Okay, she didn't say 2 guys with weapons. And then the police responded to it, and they should have said, hey, there's no threat going on here. There's nothing turned over. Nobody's been hurt. It doesn't look like they have weapons.
Correct.
They have a legal reason to be here, but yet they got arrested.
Correct.
They even got arrested when the guy who they were supposed to meet with, who was white, explained why they're there. Why did they even get taken down? That's because of the stereotypes. There are white people, especially this woman in the park pissed me off worse than anybody. Black man and his family barbecuing. And she felt so strongly about it, I'm going to call the police. He is barbecuing.
Here we go, we got a clip here.
Golfing too slowly. It has been exhausting. Unfortunately, for any black people looking to take a nap, I got some bad news.
Yale University officials say they're deeply troubled by a racially sensitive incident involving 2 grad students. Lalede Sayonbola, who is black, shot video of a white student who'd called campus police on her. Sayonbola had fallen asleep in the common room of their building. The other woman thought she was an intruder.
Come on, man. This white lady called the cops because she saw a black woman sleeping?
Now, we would have never found out about that if it wasn't for social media. We would have never found out about the lady in the park. And the point I was getting to with her, well, the details that I wanted to add to that was she called the police non-emergency number. It was a 2-hour wait. She was so adamant about calling the police on a man who was barbecuing, who is a 42-year resident, that she was willing to wait 2 hours. I would have given up after 15 minutes. Well, it's just not that important. Nothing was on fire. He wasn't throwing charcoals at people. He wasn't barbecuing dogs or cats.
Correct.
Wasn't abusing his children. Didn't rape anybody. Didn't even deal with her. It was another white woman who dealt with her face to face, who videotaped her and confronted her. So she was that adamant. And then she, as soon as the police did, what did she do? White woman in distress. Beware, brothers. White woman in distress. Okay? So she all of a sudden teared up. She pushed me. And they're illegally. First of all, if I'm a police officer, I'm not coming out because somebody's illegally barbecuing. You mean to tell me that that place is so crime-free that you can drive and answer a call about a charcoal barbecue grill? That should have been handled by whoever was the park attendant or park ranger. You got to be kidding me. That is not a police matter. What's going to be the next call? A black man took too many Splendors out of the restaurant at Dunkin' Donuts. It's silly.
Very silly.
If it was not for social media,
we wouldn't know. We
wouldn't believe it. If I told Galen something like that, yeah, right, that never happened.
Pull it up on video.
If it didn't make the newspaper or social media, we would not have believed it. This white woman felt so privileged. She was on camera, knowing that she was on camera, and still was adamant about.
Basically, she put on a show.
Hold on, forget about that. She was adamant about something happening to this man. Give me a reason other than him being black that she felt so adamant. Let's go to the Yale student. If it was a white girl falling asleep there, would you have called the police, or would you have walked up to her and said, ma'am, are you lost? Are you okay? Are you waiting on someone? Because she was a black, and she was a woman. It wasn't 15 black women in there. Now, I even, as a black guy, I'm going to Yale, and I see 15 black people waiting. Maybe I might, as a Yale grad student. Oh, wait, it's 15 of them. Let me find out. Hey, guys, you know who those people are? Okay, let me just call security to be safe. But I'm going to be honest, even in that situation, I wouldn't have called. What are they doing?
Are you guys waiting for a bus, for a group, or for an activity to start?
You're that afraid of black people, or you stereotyped in your mind, this black person can't be a student here. This is Yale. Nobody black could be here.
Oh, please.
Now, I bet you if she was in a custodial uniform, they wouldn't have called the police. They would have said, hey, the custodian sleep.
Right. She's the help.
The custodian sleep.
We know her
Let me find out who her boss is.
Correct. They would have felt, well, okay, we don't need, they would have said, we don't need to be threatened by her because she's the help. That's what they would have thought.
Here's my problem. Again, the police should say, don't call us with this. It makes no sense. Is she threatening someone? No. Did you ask her to leave? One of the things when I was a restaurant manager, if we called the police, did you ask them to leave? Yes, they won't leave. What happened when you asked them to leave? Is anybody hurt? Are they loud? Are they threatening you? These are the things that was asked for about before the police would dispatch, because their gas was precious. Their time was precious. So you mean to tell me instead of this man stopping a robbery at a liquor store, he had to go to Yale because a black woman was asleep? Not a black woman with a butterfly knife. Not a black woman who came up angry. I'm going to kick y'all ass. My baby daddy's up in here. That's not what it was. She was asleep.
Because she had been studying. Because she's a grad student trying to get her graduate degree from Yale.
Let me tell you something. You people that are watching this are asleep, because if you don't believe that there are stereotypes for a white person to just believe they are black, I need to call the police. And this other white woman at the picnic, she absolutely knew in her mind that the police were going to come, because I'm a white woman making an accusation. The police are definitely going to come. I'm white. Whatever I say goes. And they are going to come and they're going to arrest these black people.
And hold on. And like I said, let's
white privilege.
Right. Okay, let's swing into the topic here. So in that, there are other instances that appear on social media very similar to this. I'll give you one, for example. There's a friend of ours who posted, she is, I won't say her name, but she's a car salesman. And she posted that.
She's not a car salesman. She owns a car lot.
Okay. Same thing.
Not same thing, because that's not what she does full time. Okay. Her husband owns the lot she helps out sometimes. She's actually a comedian.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyways, I get your point. Next thing. So she's there helping her husband. You know, a couple comes and they want to purchase a car, and when they get there, I guess they were shocked to find out that the people that own the car lot
are a black
couple. And so their first response out of their mouth was, "Oh, please don't rob me. Oh, please don't rob me. All I have is $3,500. Don't rob me. Don't take all my money."
Now, you know, just me listening to that, I'm angry. Okay, so just because, if you would have got out and they were a white couple, I guarantee you those words wouldn't have came out of their mouth.
Correct.
And I wish that she could have broadcast that on social media. Now, she posted
the story
on social media, and it don't matter if you say her name. She posted it on social media. Her name's Tasha Neal. She posted it on. If she wanted to keep it private, Lady J, it wouldn't have been on social media. So I'm going to post it. I wish she would have posted those people's names as well. Society needs to make white people accountable for just saying, calling for black. I'm a door-to-door salesman. At least I used to be. And there were times that I was in Grove City. There were times I was in the city of Columbus. Guess what? They would come to me and say, someone called about somebody being a suspicious black guy. What's suspicious about a black guy in a cable uniform with a safety vest in broad daylight
and
with a peddler's license and a badge knocking on your door in broad daylight?
Broad daylight.
If I was white with blonde and blue eyes, that would and again, and a lot of the police officers, and thank you, Grove City police officers, I love you because you guys have common sense and you've treated me with dignity and respect. Grove City police officers are the best I've ever come across, and they'll even tell me, "I'm sorry to hassle you. The phone call we got was suspicious black guy. Are you the suspicious black guy?" I said, "Yes, I am. There's nothing suspicious to you about me." He said, "We have no choice but to come out. I humbly apologize." Okay? You shouldn't be able. What's suspicious about the black guy? What is he doing? Is he trying to kick in a window? Did he attack an old lady? He's in a uniform. Okay, we're not coming out to investigate that. You need to start holding these people with these stereotypes accountable. And you need to start telling them no.
Right.
Because, Lady J, police officers show up and sometimes somebody gets choked out.
Well, you know what?
Sometimes somebody gets slammed on the ground.
Stay right there. Stay right there. More about social media and all the news that we have here on the New Money Show on TalkTimRadio.com. Stay right there.
Events by Tiffany presents the second annual Ladies Shopping Expo, Saturday, April the 14th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Embassy Suites by Hilton, 2866 Airport Drive in Columbus, Ohio. There'll be free gift bags to the first 50 shoppers and a chance to win $50, $2 admission at the door. For more information, contact.
Robe is an intriguing, riveting, mysterious novel written on forgiveness by Renee Smith. Order your copy today at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. That's The Robe by Renee Smith.
For the best home fragrance and beauty